Well, it's a beautiful sunshiny day out here, but it's still quite cold. I think it's maybe around 12 to 15 degrees right now. And even in cold weather, life still goes on the farm. Animals need caring for. Putting the sheep over here. We've given them some hay, and everybody's home from school right now because school got canceled. In fact, pretty much all the schools around the area got canceled due to really cold weather and the snow that came in yesterday again. There's one school in particular that I think they've only had a couple days of class since Christmas break, so that's kind of rough. These are hair sheep, and they're woolly right now because it's winter time. But come spring, they should shed most of their hair off. We have one that kind of retained a patch of hair on her back last year. We'll see what happens this year come spring. There's things you can't do right now because it's cold and frozen and stuff, but there's also other things that have to continue, and then usually you end up with new problems. Water is always an issue. Keeping animals watered, you have to deal with frozen water troughs all the time, give them fresh water regularly. Because they can't get to any in the ponds. Also, we have water line troubles usually. Last Sunday we woke up early with no water, and so I had to come out to the well house and right out here and figure out what was wrong with it. And the heat lamps were working in there, but they just weren't keeping it warm enough to keep the pipes from freezing. So I had to put an additional heater in there. We've also had a couple of houses freeze up. I think one of them is frozen in the ground. I'm trying to get it thawed out, and the other one had a heat tape keeping some exposed or wrapped but exposed pipe from freezing, and that heat tape went out and we didn't catch it. So we're working on trying to get them thawed out right now. We're gonna go check in on the chickens in the pen where I made the hanging roost, see how they're doing, and then we'll go out to the greenhouse and see what it's like in there. As you can see by the snow, the chickens have mostly not gone outside except to go out to the water. Even the ducks, they don't like it. They just stay in the chicken house. Hey, girls. It's freezing and snowy outside, so they're all in here. We've got a pile of ashes over in the corner for them to dust themselves with. Our lake down there is completely frozen over. I think we probably have about 2 inches, probably 2+ on there, but it's now got snow on it, so it's not going to freeze good. 2 or 3 years ago, we had a day or two where it was cold enough, long enough for the lake to freeze over, and we were able to get out there and ice skate on it and had a lot of fun. It hasn't done that since. It will get cold snaps, but they're not quite long enough, or it gets snow on it. It'll insulate it too much and doesn't freeze safely. But if you want to watch that video that we made on it, it's in there in our history. Oh, the door's frozen shut. I don't think I'm going to be able to get in here. I think we're going to have to wait for it to thaw to get in there. The ground's frozen and swelled up in front of the door. I found my pick mattock to get us in, hopefully. Let's see if that's enough. Probably gonna have to dig it out a little ways further too, even whenever I get in.
Well, here's our Chinese cabbage. I'm curious to see if they've survived this extreme cold or not. They certainly look pretty droopy. These kind of things can take some pretty good cold, can often freeze a bit and come back, but I don't know if they can freeze as hard as they've frozen. We'll find out here in a few days. We've got a few other crops down here a bit. These were regular cabbages that have never really headed out properly yet. We planted them for a fall crop. I'm pretty sure those are going to live. I don't know about the others. And then we have some broccoli. I'm also pretty sure this will live. It looks like it's still alive to me. After we've harvested the main broccoli clump, there's been little side broccoli things. This is what happens with many varieties of broccoli, and then you can pick these and eat them. I like to just eat them raw. It's amazing how some of these crops are able to survive the winter. We planted quite a bit of kale, but I think only maybe one plant of it has lived. It's a really good crop at surviving the cold like this. It can take some pretty extreme temperatures for quite a while. One other thing that's challenging in the wintertime living where we live is that our roads very often don't get cleared, and if they do, it's not till last. Of course, our driveway we're completely responsible for ourselves, but even the gravel road that, depending on which direction you're going, goes for quite a way, it often doesn't get cleared till much later. So it may be that everybody in town is getting around as normal, or even the major highways and even secondary highways, but we're still kind of stuck for quite a while after they are. It's just one of those sacrifices you make living out here. Gotta put some wood in the stove. It's really cold outside. We've been going through lots of firewood and keeping the stove really hot because it's our only source of heat. We heat primarily with wood. One of the things that the kids have been doing to take advantage of the wood stove here is they have been eating up all the marshmallows. So you don't need to open it or anything. You can just put a marshmallow on something and then you can put it near the glass and it's hot enough coming through the glass. Getting a little color on it. It's a little too slow roasted and it was starting to melt off. All right, well, we'll just keep this fire hot and keep roasting marshmallows till it warms up outside. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time.